Oh, hang on. Why can't we hear you? Oh, come on, seriously. I mean, I was just literally talking to you, wasn't I? What's going on? Say something, Harry. What was it doing? It's not doing anything. Are you sure you're not muted, Harry?
All the time. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen, okay? I was singing down the microphone, going, "Oh, there must be something wrong with Matt's speaker. There's nothing working." Oh, okay, well, there we go. There we go. We're here now. We're here now. I have practiced some Dutch, so goedemiddag en welkom bij de stream van Zwolle en Groningen. Ik heet Harry and dit is Matt. There you go. That is I was singing, yes. That's like some of the sort of words that I've learned. For anybody that doesn't know what that means, that is good afternoon. Welcome to the Zwolle and Groningen preview stream. My name is Harry, and this is Matt. So we're going to be previewing our first ever Netherlands route today. We've got an exciting stream ready to go. Very, very excited for everything that we're going to see today, especially the Koploper. And I've learned the Dutch pronunciations of every stop on the route, but I've not told Matt until now. So we'll have a little look.
Okay. I have
we'll
not learned the Dutch pronunciations for anything.
I'm waiting for it. I only did it today. I spoke to my friend and sent her everything over, and she went, "Oh yeah, that's not how you pronounce these, but here's how you pronounce them." So we shall find out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to just kind of have a little look at what are we going to do actually, Matt? We're going to have a little look at the locos first. Are we going to do any training, or we'll have a look at the timetable. We'll have a look at the scenarios. But are we jumping straight into Zwolle?
So I'll do the usual tour of what scenarios there are in the pack. We'll do a look at the timetable services that there are in the pack. And then we've got four services we're going to do. The first one we'll do a complete run from Zwolle Groningen in the Koploper. That'll be just a normal daytime run. Then we're going to do a service 2 in the SNG Sprinter, which will be Groningen Assen. Which will be in the early evening in sort of December. We're just going to do that one for 4 stops, something like that, just as far as Assen. Then we're going to do a little bit of conductor mode, 3 to 4 stops, so not too long, in the SNG Sprinter, just so you get an idea of what's in there. I'm not going to do conductor mode in the ICM. It's there, but frankly, you don't do an awful lot with it, really. So I'm not going. I'll let you discover that. It's because the ICM Koploper doesn't really stop very much, so we'd be sitting there doing nothing for 35 minutes until it gets to the first stop, and it doesn't feel like good for a stream. But it is there on the Koploper as well. And then the last thing we'll do is a look at the route at night time. So we'll do that as a 5 a.m. service in the Koploper with a little cloud, little fog. I put here light cloud, loud. I don't quite know what I was thinking when I wrote loud. I was probably talking to someone while I was writing. I meant light fog, but you can see you could get that from loud.
I mean, were you talking to me? Because that's kind of how I've been described in the past.
No, I have no idea who I was talking to at the time. I've just had lots of different things to do today. So, right, should we get on and have a look then, or should we make them wait a bit longer?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's Koploper. O'clock. That is really hard to say quickly, and I know that that's not how you say Koploper, but there you go. I've been learning. Okay, let's take a look then, Matt.
All right. I'll turn the game music down just a little bit while we do this. Someone remind me to turn it back up again once we've got train sounds. Right, Zwolle Groningen. Right, scenarios. We have 6 scenarios. Groningen Hero, Rescue a Train at Groningen. Maintenance Madness is on the Sprinter. double up. Run this unique ICM Sprinter service running as a single unit, doubles up on the way to Zwolle. ATB out. ATB is down between Haren and Groningen, Europa Park. I tell you what, number of times during development that has been accidentally optimized down to Euro Park. And we had to keep checking it back to Europa Park. Trains are all driving at reduced speed. It's just one of those things. The number of times I look at it, I double check and say Europa Park. Right, that's right, not Euro Park. Okay. Retirement services, because of course the ICM is on its way out. This was actually one of the reasons we really wanted to make sure we got the ICM this time around, is because they are in their last moments. So this is really important that we get it. And then during this IC service, drive this IC service aboard the SNG. So this is an SNG doing ICM things for reasons. So that's the services. Timetable, we have got the ICM 3, 155, SNG with 179. The G6 does a little bit of bimbling around near Groningen. And then the Vectron has 2 services. I will clarify, while the Vectron is drivable, it does not have its ATB update as of release day. It will get its ATB update shortly after. There's just been a slight hitch getting that out. So it's drivable, and it runs as AI as well. It doesn't have the ATB update yet. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but we'll get that out to you as soon as we can. So ICM services, let's just scroll down the list so you can see what there is. You can see lots of conductor mode in there as well. You can slow this down later on at your leisure, but as you can see, many things to do with the ICM. Some different ranges, different lengths, depot services, all sorts. SNG, again, you've got full route runs, you've got partial route runs, like the services that just run in the top bit of the route. These are run during peak hours usually, and they bulk out the service during the morning and the afternoon peak hours services. So if you want, busier traffic, then that's when it is. It's not a phenomenally busy route, to be fair, but there's plenty to see. And if you're on it at rush hour, there is those extra services in the top bits of the route. They're just servicing extra stuff. Right, that's it. Lots of stuff to look at there. Let's get in a train and drive it. I know that's what we really want to be doing here. 0814 service. I finished it. I got platinum before, so I'm sure I'll do fine.
It's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
I've definitely not learned the Dutch word for overshoot. Which was, by the way, the hardest word to learn. But I'll only say it if it happens. I have every faith in you that it's not going to happen.
That's good. At least one of us does. Right. Okay. So I've been asked to do a slow intro by using the controls as to how you set the whole thing up. So we're going to start off by going onto the back wall over here, and we are going to turn the ATB on, and we're going to turn on Deadman's up here somewhere. There it is. There you go. So that's turned on the safety systems. Do not be afraid of ATB. ATB is glorious, actually. It is a very good safety system. Right, master key in. You have a main mode selector. We'll be putting it on drive. You can't move the reverser until you've done that. Put that in forward. Similarly, now that's in forward, you can't now move the main mode selector. They interlock with each other. We need to put your headlights on, which is those 3. We'll put the gauge lights on. We'll put the train lights on. Over here, train heating, compressor, train supply voltage, and electro-pneumatic brakes. That stuff is all dealt with. We need to unrelease the brake lock. Down here, we're going to open the doors to the right. Press and hold for a moment. The doors will open. Now, and this green light here is the door open indicator. When it's off, the doors are open. And I think we are pretty much set up now. One thing you will notice, though, is that these trains do not have a close door button, because the guard does it. Oh, I need to turn the volume up now, don't I? I told you to change it. There we go. We've got buttons. We've got a lot. Can you hear that now? Yeah, you are hearing that, I think. Good.
I have to, because I can't hear anything on this, so occasionally I'll just go back into the stream. There it is.
So the ICM, this is the ICM modernised, ICM M, and it's the 3-car version, and you'll find it in 3 and 6 car consists, like this one's a 6-car. There are other services that do the other version, the 3-car unit only. Yes, it's got custom PIS displays that have been built for the route, and there's internal ones. Actually, let me just do a quick tour of the train. We didn't want to be on time anyway, did we? So we've got internal PIS on dotted throughout the train as well. These are your guard controls. Trains get ready to go. I love the colours and the paintings on these various cars. This one you have to actually press on the button. Getting there. One car left to look at. You can't navigate between the cars. That's was a feature of the original when the ICMs were released, but they had so many problems with it when they modernised it. They bolted the door shut, so you can't do that anymore. And that then gets us into the other end. Right, let's go back and start driving.
Okay.
There, no, we've got one more to do. And let's... Oh, I left the vigilance on, didn't I? Wait for the brakes to recharge. Literally. Adam, thanks for telling me to remind turn the game audio up. Your message only took 10 minutes too late. Never mind. Right, let's do the game door. So just use the keyboard or the controller to shut the doors. Pretend you've got a guard. Okay. There is no button to do it. Once the doors are finished, we can then get going. So we'll hit the release. You can see the brake cylinder off. And then we'll start applying a bit of power. You can see your ammeter here. Right, we can see on our ATB display down here we've got a 60 limit. I love the way this thing thuds. Absolutely thuds over the crossing. Superb. I was talking to a person who set the train up and the audio, and they've used a different technique for doing the joint audio on this train as well. I don't know if you've noticed as well, but there's 2 wires up there on the overhead switches because we're under DC power. ATB is up to 100. You get a bell when it goes up. So this is mostly straightforward run. The ATB will start interfering a little bit once we get into the Groningen area. And what I'll do is I'll try and explain a bit about how that all hangs, how that all works. You can't drive just on ATB. One of the things that I hear lots of people with different safety systems wanting to just follow what the safety system is telling them. In this instance, the safety system is just telling you what its protection speed is. So like I'm running at 100 kilometers per hour, but ATB hasn't got a way of giving me 100 kilometers an hour. So it's given me a permission up to 130. So you do still need to know the line if you're going to run without the HUD. There we go. We've got 140 on the ATB. We should get 140 on the track. There we
go. We will be showing the SNG Sprinter later as well.
I keep turning these lines down accidentally. I did it once here. I was in the middle of driving and I accidentally clicked on this. Panicked a little bit. So, speedometer down here. You'll notice
we were just talking about this, weren't we?
Yeah, this is an angled line. This is actually really clever. So the bottom of the line matches up with the speed that you're going. The top of the line matches up with the speed at which you will get in trouble with the restriction. Right, so if I was to, and let's just go ahead and do this, I'm going to put the power on, and right, you go over the 140. Once the top of the line starts to get above that 140, the safety system starts kicking in, and if you go above it for too long, too much, that happens. So let's wait and see what happens. And you can see that red light there means I'm on a penalty break. So I'm going to cut the power because it's not doing us any good at the moment anyway. We've got to wait for it to stop. Wait for the train to stop and then we'll reset.
Have we,
reset is dead easy. What you do is you put that into 3 or above. Put it in 3 and above, that white light comes on. That white light means that you've got enough braking. It's equivalent to like suppression braking on some systems. Now I can press the ATB release, so that one there, and that'll free the system up to then let me go again. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. Oh, no, I was just going to say, we'll be going through questions a little bit later as well. So if people have got questions, I've got a big old list of questions, which a couple of them have been asked a few times, but we'll go through those a little bit later as well. I have to admit, this is making me want to go to the Netherlands.
Right, so we'll get back going again. But yeah, and I'll do the same thing when we do the SNG. When we do a run on the SNG, I will cause an ATB fail on that so you can see how to redo it. And it's exactly the same process. 30%, cut the power, reset, go. Right.
That was a lot of very happy people in the chat right now.
Oh yeah, no, you can hear the chopper sound better from the outside. You can't really. The interior is insulates quite a bit. That's it. Sit here cruising at 130 now. just answering the Deadman handle every now and again until we get 57 kilometres down the line.
How are we doing? We're doing good for speed. We're doing good for speed. You're doing better than I did, Matt.
I love this high vantage point, and you'll see when we get an SNG going in the other direction, and you're literally right over the top of it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my. I have to admit that was one of my favourite things about it. Was just feeling super high up. Have we heard the horns, Matt? Have we heard them?
Oh, here we go. Look, there's an SNG. Look how small that thing is.
You're picking on it in your big train.
People asking for the horn. There's the horn. Can't really hear it out here. Is there a visual audio alarm signal or you need to press? Yes, there is only me. So this light here is the Deadman, and it's like Seeker actually, in that the light lights up, and then if you don't acknowledge it, then the alarm sounds. So if you just watch out for that blue light. In fact, if I just wait now, it should pop on the blue light in a minute. There we go. We're back into S. Speeding up a little too much. So while we're on this section of the route, you've got Zwolle down here, proceeding all the way up here. Then you've got, I'm not that familiar with the route here, Meppel here at the junction. And you can carry on around here until you get to Assen here. Is that? Yeah, I think that's a stop. And then you've got a little bit more of a rural route until you get into Groningen up here. There is a freight end here, so the Vectron service is both end here, starting down in the south of the route. I don't know if anybody's noticed what's going on top of the catenary every now and again. Did you spot that yet, Harry?
Oh no, I haven't. What's that?
If I spot one, I'll point it out. It's not on all of them by any stretch of the imagination.
Intensely stirring now. I need my eyes to be able to have the ability to look in two directions at once. Some people would like extra arms. I would like extra. No, I don't want extra eyes. I just want them to be able to look at the chat and look at what's going on at the same time. I'm having a look now. I'm like, what's going on?
Dirk Ayton. So the Vectron will have ATB, but not at launch. The Vectron in the Frankfurt folder pack is getting updated, but it didn't make it in time for the launch. It won't be long. The work is done, but right. I've just had a drop. Put it in 3, and that's it. That tells me that 3 ring there tells me I've gone back under it again. So we've just had ATB wake up. That dropped, and then as soon as I put it in notch 3, it then let me come down to that again. So that was because of that 120 limit we've just got into. And I wasn't paying any attention at all when that came through, so you can imagine it's not a hard system actually. I've really enjoyed using ATB actually. It's very forgiving actually. And it pretty much tells you what you need to know.
Not. I did not use it. I don't think. Yeah, I didn't use it, but I think I'm tempted to give it a little go because it doesn't look. It looks a little bit. It's intuitive. It's quite intuitive.
Yeah,
it felt like a. It didn't feel too scary to use. So give it a go. I'll give it a good go.
I'll get a bing in a minute. I'll just reduce the speed while we go through that corner. Yeah, the pneumatics work. I think it's blended anyway, but yeah, the pneumatics will work. At this point, only the DB Vectron that comes in Frankfurt folder is getting the ATB. There are no plans to update the other ones. There we go. The Vectrons, I'm using the release build of the game, so I literally don't have the Vectron here to show you, otherwise I'd love to. We'll get some stuff out about it and tell you about it. But yeah, loads and loads of custom new assets for this route to capture the Dutch scenery. We've got the new tech for the wires there, so that we've got the two wires rather than it just being a single one. Oh, the stalks are a bit further up on the route, are they, Rob? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I'm only looking for the stalks. I didn't see them. I didn't see them when I only did quite a short run, so I'll have a look.
So the audio team actually had, and the loco team actually had a really good reference for this one. We were able to go out to the Netherlands for a couple of weeks, I think it was, even maybe a week. But they had sole, access with I think 1 or 2 drivers, and I think 2 days with each of these trains. And it's basically the driver was just, well, what do you want? We'll do whatever you like. So they were throwing emergency brakes, pulling into sidings to blow horns for a while. It was just yeah, train time. So able to get tremendous amount of detail on the the aspects. And oh, hello. Before we got that, oh, I see. That's because we got the drop coming into around this corner here, metal.
You're saying that one right, Matt. I think you're saying metal right. Metal.
There you go. That's the AT. So yeah, we were able to get really good access to everything that we needed, take all the photographs that were needed, and get all the sounds that were needed. So it was a big shout out, big thank you to NS for supporting us.
Yeah, one of the questions we had was how was it working with NS?
Really good, yeah, really good. Like I said, we have a number of, like, Metrolink have been really accommodating. NS right up there at top tier, to be honest, in terms of they were very much, what can we do to help? And the answer was yes, pretty much for everything.
Oh,
really good. So yeah, no, I'm very very grateful. And this is why you can see, feel, and hear it. When the team get access to the train, and they can talk to the driver. And get their opinions on various things, get some insights. It's actually pretty rare that they will literally throw it over the ATB limit and let the emergency brakes bring the train to a halt for us. That sort of thing is pretty rare to come across. But the NS driver was just like, oh, whatever you need. So that means that we're able to capture everything as accurately as possible. Right, there we go. Let's Speed up. How long is the route in kilometres? Have you got that stashed away somewhere?
I do. It is... Nobody beat me to it. It's 104 kilometres.
104. I know it's not a short route.
Or 64-ish miles.
I mean, I'm guessing, I've not looked at the questions you've got in there. I'm guessing one of the questions, because I get asked it a number of times, is why did we choose this Dutch route? Out of all of the routes that we could have picked, why pick this one to do first? And there was solid reasoning behind it. We didn't want a route that was going to blow everyone's minds in the team trying to figure it out. You know what? I'd love to do a route around Amsterdam area, but that's really complicated and a heck of a lot more new assets that need to be made. Definitely one of the criteria was wanting to include the Koploper and having a bit of a variety on experience, hence the SNG. And looking at a number of things, talking to some of the, we got a more than I realised number of Dutch enthusiasts on the beta team, and sort of back and forth with them, and I settled on this route because it's not the hardest route in the world to make. It's a decent enough length that you get a decent drive. The ICM is largely an express train. So you get a good line running for longer periods, and the SNG tends to stop more often, so you get that good contrasting experience. And what this does is it allows us to build that foundation of the assets that are needed, get two key trains in the library, get ATV signalling working, get the variety of environmental assets created, and then put it out there and get some feedback. And that's kind of the first thing. At this moment in time, there are no more Dutch routes planned. But that's because there's no point doing that until we know how this one went. We know what it worked, what it didn't work, where can we improve things. I would love to make more Dutch routes, but I want to know how this lands first, what you liked, where we can do better, and then we can think about it. I know what route I want to make. It's just I just want to know that before we do that project, we got this project right, or where we can improve it, we know where that is. So that's kind of the thought process.
Learning from lessons. Wait, lessons? Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Learning from this route. Learning is fun.
I wouldn't say the Netherlands is necessarily harder than anywhere else rail traction. The problem is it's new territory. The team have not done it before. So it's kind of like, can we get to a point where we can deliver a product people think is that Dutch players, Dutch enthusiasts and non-Dutch enthusiasts think is fun and interesting and what they want. So it's kind of like that's what I'm really looking for. So do give me your honest feedback. Yeah, do give us the feedback. Amaze Taste, yes, this is the release build because it's going out tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is going out tomorrow. 10 AM on consoles, 4 PM on Epic, and 5 PM on Steam. I don't know why I said it like that. I said it as if I'd spoken to the robot AI companion that if you say her name, she plays music. You know the one.
Oh yeah, the one that you don't dare ever say the name. And sounds like one of her name sounds like one of our colleagues.
Yes. That took me a second. I was like, we don't work with. Oh wait, we do. It's yeah, I think there's been a lot of interest. Obviously, there's been a lot of interest from Dutch players, but there's also been a lot of interest from non-Dutch players as well. With this being our first ever route from in the Netherlands, it's been really interesting because we've had people kind of that big TSW fans that they love You know, they love the routes where they come from, because it's a fun thing to do, right? It's like you'll go, oh look, I know this because I live in the UK, or I live in Germany, I live in the US. But it's interesting to see with this one, because a lot of people who aren't Dutch are still very interested in this route, because you know, it's something we've never done before, but also interesting locos. I absolutely was not. I went into it and I was a little bit intimidated, because I was going, oh my, you only just know how to drive like a couple of UK locos, but I went into it, it was super intuitive. I absolutely love the Koploper. Koploper, there we go. God, I'm doing it now. Yeah, it's I think this is gearing up to be one of my favourites, to be honest. This is I think it might be currently in the running.
Yeah, I always used to play a lot of Dutch content on Microsoft Train Simulator many moons ago, and it's one of the things that the Dutch railways have kind of preserved in the way that they operate, is the cool variety of trains. You know, as an enthusiast, I like to see all the different types of varieties of trains, and throughout the years they've not lost that as they've upgraded and modernised, whereas certainly the UK has tended to become much more straightforward, and frankly a bit less interesting to me. You know, so I like Germany, and the Netherlands has always been something that's been, you know, really interesting to me, just as, you know, someone who doesn't necessarily understand the ins and outs, or didn't back then, 10-15 years ago. It was just interesting trains that did interesting things. So yeah, I've always been, you know, keen to try and get a Dutch route done at some point, and here we are. Route one.
Here we are. I know there's a couple of people. You've already semi-answered this. There's a couple of people asking about if we would see more Dutch routes in the future as well. And I know you mentioned it'd be nice.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. What the thing that would help us is give us your feedback.
Yes, please.
You know, give us your feedback.
Good and bad.
And you know, and we can. Well, no, it's all good feedback, but what I'd like is constructive feedback that helps us do better.
That's it.
Yes. You know,
constructive.
That's the key thing. I'm late because we had a tour of the train. That's why we're running late. So I'm not going to get there on time. It shouldn't surprise anybody that I'm running late.
Oh, don't make me say the Dutch word for overshoot. It's really hard.
But no, this is. Why didn't we do the 4-car version? To be honest, we're making 2 trains in this pack, which was already a chunk. And if I remember rightly, the extra coach is a different coach, which is often the case. So it's not just duplicate the middle coach, in which case we'd obviously done it. It's another coach that needs to be made. So we decided to have 2 trains and leave them as the 3-car versions.
Whereabouts are we on the old map right now?
29 kilometres. We are working our way up the neck. Well, we're on the big straight.
A big straight.
Yeah, I'm going to overshoot Ryan just so that she has to say it.
Ah, it was such a hard word. We will be trying conductor mode, but we're doing it in
on the SNG.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this train is actually, it works. You can do conductor mode on it. You know, we took the feedback from everyone that said they wanted conductor mode on the Pendolino. So it does do conductor mode, but we left. It was 65 kilometres ago. We left at the first station on the route, and this is, you know, when the next station would be. So, oh, we just passed one. Stalks.
Oh.
And you'll find them perched on
Babies.
on the gantries.
I love the stalk detail, I have to admit. I'm a bit of a bird nerd.
Find them all over this bit of the route.
We don't have storks in the UK, we have herons, which are similar-ish shape. Uh-oh, is that the word? That's not the word. That's not the word. That's not how it was spelled, I don't think.
No, the front doors don't open, Hayesmat, because, as I was saying earlier on, in the ICM M, the modernised version of it, they welded the doors closed because they were having lots of problems with them. They were historically highly unreliable. So when they went part of the modernised refurbishment, they welded them all shut, and that's what this represents. I love how much you can see. This reminds me so much of driving the Class 52, which is just like you're driving in a greenhouse.
It's like the 4D experience of driving a loco. Panoramic, big old panoramic view.
Will there be a scenario of coupling two units? I believe so. I can't remember exactly. I'm thinking in the description of the scenarios there was a couple of things about coupling. And I'm pretty sure it happens in service mode as well. I know that we had a bug early on where, well, not even that early on, it was relatively late on actually, where you bring an SNG3 out of the depot into Groningen and you couple it up to another one. So that's all fixed now, but that was so that's built into service mode as well, where you combine things as well. You want to see roof and undercarriage detail. Say that again.
Being like headlights. Well, I don't know. Can you see my face? Nobody can see my face.
No.
But I don't know if you can. Okay, good.
I can see your face.
You can see my face?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Gonna turn on the wipers. Yeah, that one is. That one. 16 kilometers. Let's have a look at the underside again. It's going to get very loud, I'm afraid. Oops. Looks like you don't have to wait for Deadman's to start, we just have to wait for it to recharge and release the brakes. Yes, the train has suspension, David. New styles of railroad crossing wrens, these are custom for the route as well.
Just put it in the chat, I can get it copied across. I've been trying to get them copied across, but he's been busy.
Right, we are at 10 kilometres, so nearly there, just looking for somewhere to park. I can't remember how long the team's been working on this one, Shorty. I must admit, I should probably go and find out. It's been a while, maybe a bit longer than a normal route we'd make. This has needed a lot of extra research, but why does the Deadman light stay illuminated? That's the Deadman light here, it's not illuminated. This one is the door light, if that's the one you mean, that because the doors are closed. ATV is similar to ATC, Liam, yeah, similar. It's more forgiving. You also only need 30% of brakes to cancel the alarm, which means the drive is generally smoother. No, you can't change the PIS manually, How far the blind goes? Do you mean the top one or the bottom one? Top one goes there. Bottom one, because who needs to see anything? It goes there. Q for the Deadman reset. See the pedal at the bottom here. Mark H, the sleepers are the same as normal. They only render a certain distance out. They're actually replaced by a texture beyond that, but you can't really see it. But yeah, no, the 3D model doesn't render that far out because otherwise it would destroy the performance. SNG. Oh, we're going to get a drop in a moment, I think. yellow. It's a yellow 8. Let's go ahead. There we go. I've already got the white light on because I'm already in 30%. It's beeping telling me I'm back in compliance again, but I'm just going to slow down now. Because I know there's an 80 limit in Assen, and you know, kind of be nice to stop there as well. There we go. Back in notch 3. There we go, in compliance. Take the brakes off for a minute.
Potato Cat. That's a great name. There are 2 trains included in this add-on. And the release time, sorry, I went through these earlier, but I'll do it again. The release time's at 10, this is in UTC, but it's 10 AM for consoles, 4 PM on Epic, and 5 PM on Steam.
I just want to shout out a big thank you to the passenger system for turning up today.
So we're now in, where are we, Matt? We'll go for you first.
Assen.
Pretty good. Assen, I think. Like
Okay.
Assen.
Assen.
Assen. Assen. Like as if it's got like an AU almost, I think. Assen. Assen.
Doors open. Got lots of bicycles.
Been learning. The worst thing is that I've been learning Norwegian for a year, not Dutch. So I've been pronouncing things with more of a Norwegian twang. So, which is why during the reveal video I did not do a great job with my goedemiddag. Overshoot? No, that's not an overshoot. That wasn't an overshoot, was it, Matt? That wasn't an overshoot.
No. Well, maybe by about an inch, I don't know.
Nah, an inch doesn't count, that's fine. That's fine, it's not an overshoot.
This is a collectible. It makes me smile because it looks like a chalk outline from a murder case.
Oh, it does! What's on the floor? What's on the next to... Oh, and
Roses, tulips.
The tulips!
Right.
You know, it's in... Oh, are we off? Are we off? Okay. Ervor.
Could hear the alarm and it was something. Oops.
I'd say what? Oh no, I don't. What does that word mean? I'm not saying it. If.
There's another neat touch here as well. There's these white stones that mark the. They're like, if you go for junctions like this, they mark the area where the clearance point is. So vehicle, if you have something parked here, you know you can safely go past here, for example. And this is how they do it. In Germany, it's like a little post in the middle of the junction there, but in the Netherlands, it's this white stone.
Is that a word?
What's been the biggest challenge designing and developing the first? I don't know what the biggest challenge would be. There are a lot of challenges, as I've alluded to in the past. You've got new safety systems to understand and implement. You've got the scenery and getting the feel of another area, trying to capture that. Those are probably two of the main areas. Fortunately, we were able to get really good access to the train, which makes those sides of things much easier. Will there be more Dutch routes? Aviation and railway. So I mentioned this earlier on. Essentially, think of this as a test run. We wanted to do a route which was going to be a lot of fun and give the team the opportunity to build a grounding of knowledge, a grounding of assets, put two amazing trains in the catalogue, but this route, fundamentally, it doesn't feel a lot different to routes that have been done in the past. Whereas if we look to do some of the other Dutch routes, perhaps you scale the problem up a bit more. So it's kind of like, how do we come up with a way of doing a first route to build up that experience? I'd love to do more Dutch routes. What I want to know is from players, as you use this, what happens? Do you get what your feelings are? What do you think about it? What do you think we should do better? Give us that feedback, and then we can decide how we proceed. I'd love to make another Dutch route. Kind of know what I want to do if we do another Dutch route, but I want to make sure we get it right. So just do one and see how we do. It's a big stretch to take a team of enthusiasts, a team of people who understand, a lot about the railways they do, the US, German, and UK ones, and then get them to learn a whole different railway. No, I think they've done a remarkable job. I'm going to go out there and say it. I will. It's my team, but I think they've done a remarkable job. Hopefully, everybody agrees. And where there's anything that doesn't hit the expectation, let us know so that we can learn. I think this is a strong start, and it'll be good to get your feedback. So hopefully that answers the question of will there be more routes. Hopefully, is the answer to that question.
We have the forums, we have Discord, we've got people put in the forum link in the chat already. Beat me to it. These mods, we got some great people here. But that is, we keep a close eye on the forums. We keep a close eye on the Discord. We also keep a close eye quietly on the TSW Reddit as well. I like to have a little peek at the TSW Reddit.
Neither of the trains have announcements, Jeremy. How do you do that camera thing on the console? So you need to plug a keyboard in and use the shift key. There is no way of speeding the camera up on console. It is on my things I would like to get fixed list. Showing my FPS counter doesn't really help, Daniel. I've got a 4080 GPU with a 14th gen Intel processor, and I've got my frame rate locked at 60. Generally speaking, this machine does in the order of 100 to 200 FPS if I remove the lock. So that's why it's sitting there nailed at 60 FPS. Koploper, that's kind of one of the things I'm looking at. The other one is, certainly on controller, is just making it to where you can control the speed more by just moving the joystick more. We'll have some adverse signals as we approach Groningen, Stefan. The route is available for Xbox One, Yegar. You will have a much better time on Series X. I'll put it that way. Much better time. I might need a new PC, Kelly. You think so? If I do, it's too bad. This one's got at least 10 years it's got to last. Free movement is... Go on.
No, what are you going to say?
So free movement, someone asked about the free movement. On the keyboard you press 8. On the controller, if you use camera shift, one of the D-pad left or right, you can cycle to the free camera. So you can get to the free camera. What you can't then do is accelerate the movement speed. Can I explain more about the throttle settings? So you've got these settings down here: RS, this is series, and then you've got P for parallel up here. Exactly what they mean and do, I must admit, I'm not 100% familiar, but series and parallel is pretty standard, old school electrics, and it's how they load the motors. But yeah, exactly the difference between S and SZ, for example, couldn't tell you. Going to get your drop to 130 in a moment. The odometer is this thing down here. The bottom of the line matches up with the speed that you need to track. So I'm doing pretty much bang on 140-ish. The top of the line tells you when you're going to get in trouble with ATB. So when the speed limit, when the white bar, this bit here is to the right of the ATB that is lit up, that's when it starts getting grumpy with you, and you need to put it into a 30% brake. Going past that freight yard, got the G6 up there. I think we'll see a G6 actually on the move shortly. So when you get the notification that comes up, which will happen in a minute, then you just need to pop it into 30% until you're back under the limit. There you go. There you go. There's a Vectron sitting up there. I think that was the morning service. Still 6.5 kilometres. We've got Europa Park and such to go fast. Why is the G6 on the route? I didn't make the timetable, so I couldn't tell you. Presumably just to fill a hole from a shunting perspective.
From what I understand, it's essentially just to make sure that there was the option to have freight on the route, I think, or freight something along those lines. Actually driving the ICM in a minute. In real life.
Right, we'll get a more significant speed drop in a minute, coming down to 80. Depth firm, I've got no idea. There we go. We've had the drop. Let's put it into. I'll put it into 4 just to get it slowed down a bit more. 3 is usually enough, to be fair.
For those asking as well, we do have a ATB safety system guide as well in this article.
Okay. There is a tutorial for ATB in the game as well.
Look at that. If you're a reading learner, you can read the article. If you're a visual learner, or kinesthetic, I guess, then it'll already be there in game. What's with all the buttons is a question I ask myself whenever I step into any new train in TSW.
A lot of these aren't buttons, actually. These ones down here, a lot of these are indicators. You've got an acknowledge button, you've got the release button and the off button, and then almost everything else up here is an indicator, not actually a button. Down here you've got indicators and buttons, you've got headlight dimmer, you've got the reduced tractive effort, doors, wipers, wiper interval time, down here release control interlock, Deadman button. You prefer, I guess, if you're standing up and you want to stop the alarm going off. Go through here. Oh, hello. Slow down to 40. Should probably pay more attention to what I'm doing, but why break the habit of a lifetime, eh? There it is, back in compliance.
Oh. Is it pronounced like Europa?
Europa Park, isn't it?
Europa. But is it pronounced differently?
Oh, that I don't know. Can you manually control lighting? As in what lights in Crazy Division? Your headlights are here, your cab light is here, gauge lights are here, train lights are here. So you've got control over a lot of lighting. We'll be doing a nighttime run in a bit, so you can see for yourself what it's like in the cab. It wouldn't be a Dutch route without a character T-posing on a bike. Oh. Dear, oh dear.
We've had a look at that one. Foxy, there's no. We don't have demos. But if you're not sure, then the preview stream is there to show you what the route is like itself. And if not, if you're still a little on the fence, then We also have ambassadors that will be creating content beforehand as well. And then if you're still not sure, then you know, it comes out tomorrow. And we will be doing a conductor mode preview soon as well.
A quick look around an in construction, heavily in construction Groningen. I noticed this earlier on. I quite like the fact they've made some of the windows open. But yeah, that's Groningen. Let's get the doors open.
Groningen. Groningen? That's right, isn't it? Somebody tell me I'm right. Groningen. It's got a...
Bus station. Where's the bus station? There's more stuff going on over here. Shut up, train. Big walkway here. Oh, hello. All right, we're going to be back at here in a minute. We're going to do the SNG Sprinter. Right, let us go in and we will pick the SNG and we'll have a run with that. We're going to do a 1601 service. I've picked that specifically because we see the Vectron going in the other direction. And I'm going to do that in December. And I'm going to pop a little cloud and a little bit of fog just to flavour the scene a little. We'll do driver mode.
People are being nice about my Dutch pronunciations. This is much better than it was during season of reveals. I am glad.
Let's get the doors open. Right, lights are on, I think, by default. This is the height of modern trains. It sort of basically drives itself, but not really. It's a 3-car.
It is.
While we're doing that, we'll have a quick tour. This is your guard controls here, that one on the local door button. Lets you into the other cab. Right. Actually, before we do any more, up here we have got TCC, that one, ERTMS, which is ATV, Deadman. I think everything else is in by default. Yeah, all good. None of these ones do anything, or these ones, if I recall. And now we've got ATB, and this is what ATB looks like on this more modern display. Oh, that's incredibly sensible. The cab light button lights up when the cab light is off. Oh my word. That's a degree of common sense. Doors closed.
Yes, we will be doing guard mode later as well.
So over here on this screen we've got some other things going on. So you've got this MCN page with some statings on it, diagnose page. I'm not sure what a lot of this stuff is showing, but you've got that, you've got climate control. This one for volumes, I guess. That's it. So that's what's on the right tab there. The left one here I don't think does anything. Oh no. It does stuff. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Make it go back. Thank you. Excellent. Can't read Dutch, so I've no idea what that said. Hopefully that was interesting. Right, ATB just went up to 60 in a second. There we go. This thing is really, really light on its feet at the bottom end, and it starts to get a lot more sluggish at the top end speed-wise. So that, you know, that when you're accelerating up to 60, 80 kilometers an hour, it's like a rocket. Once you start getting up to the 110 to 140, it's pushing it. What was the thing that said top speed? I think there you go. It's top speed's 160.
Yes, we don't have a...
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we have a couple of people asking about the announcements and stuff. We don't have any announcements on any of our...
None of our internally produced stuff has announcements. There have been some done by third parties, but they use a bespoke system each time. As I've said a few times in the past, I'd like to do an announcement system, but not one-off, because it just makes everything a lot more complex to make. Right, open the doors. This is Europa Park, isn't it?
I haven't actually had a look at that, Matt. Are we able to see the stadium, the Groningen Stadium?
I don't know if someone can tell me where it is.
On your left? On your left? Somebody said on your left. We're flying.
Not entirely sure where I'm looking.
No.
I've just noticed this. Wow, this is a lot of custom modelling.
It's apparently near it's apparently near the towers. The two must be around there somewhere, yeah. Wow, that is detailed.
Right, okay. Let's get the doors closed.
Oh, we're late again. Look, we want to be able to see everything, don't you? Don't you want to be able to see everything?
Got 80 limit now. So now I'm just going to let it go over speed limit so we can see what happens when you need to recover it. There goes the alarm. It's all going to sound very familiar. There go the brakes. They sound exactly the same. Well, just as judgmental anyway. And then we come to a stop. Put the power back to 0. Once the train has stopped, you then want to put the thing into about 30% to get this little indicator to appear. Once that indicator has appeared, you can then press Grindelen up here, which is the brake release, and that will then release the brakes. That's the same as that button we pressed on the other one. Wait for the brakes to do their thing. And we go for it. Yeah, we had both trains during the trip, Crown Witness, both this one and the ICM. We have got them both one after the other on the trip. I'll do guard mode separately, Colin. I'm doing guard mode on this one. Right, Harren is next. I mean, to be fair, most people when they're driving a train for real, they're presumably not trying to demonstrate the train and the route on a Twitch stream. So this is one of the things that makes it easier when you're doing it for real, I guess.
I did say to them, I was like, hey, look, we can either be on time or you can see not a lot of it. You can't both. We're going to be a little bit late. I'm sure that the passengers will be completely fine.
Probably going to get an ATB drop again. Yeah, 60. Again,
Yes, so
you're looking for that. That marker there is the equivalent of that white light on the ICM. As long as that's on, the alarm won't bother you.
Have you sounded the horn yet, Matt?
Okay, we're back in compliance. Hang on. Horn. Oh, we're actually stopping here. Yeah, we should. That's good. We should stop here. We get a lot of different feedback, Gilgamesh, on the suspension. We get feedback telling us it's way too bouncy, verging on the ridiculous, and other people, such as yourself, saying it's way too static and stiff, and we need to add more to it. So, unfortunately, it's not something that's easily made configurable because it's part of the physics setup. So, we have tried to strike a balance, and as it is, I tend to err towards springier than maybe some of the people I talk to would like, but I get your feedback. But yeah, it's a balance. I believe it should be bouncier sometimes than it is as well. I think.
Did you overshoot?
0 meters. There are no announcements on either train, Bram.
The SNG is supposed to cause permanent hearing damage. Well, you can always turn your headset up, but I would not recommend giving yourself hearing damage. Something to show off on stream. Let's have a little look. It's Phobian. attempt to explain that to Matt. Okay, Matt, are you listening?
Go for it.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay, so, if you want to explain the left screen to Matt, the big white square buttons are units. You can click them and they become highlighted. Now you can either press the white button below on the right to auto set the destination, or the left one to open a search field to enter a custom destination. This changes the destination displays on the exterior.
Go.
Did that work?
The brightness control is what it is. Press the train set button, big white above the 2 letters. Oh, hello.
There we go, he got it. he got it.
Hey, you can change the PIS. There you go, look.
Thank you very much for that. That is cool. Thank you for that. Say some town names. We can say, you know, Matt, it's just that Matt's been doing a good job. Remember not to spam their chat. There we go. Harren Bean? Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Oh, Vectron.
Woo! Ooh, that flew by. I'm gonna have to rewatch it on the stream. With these pronunciations, I'm not doing too badly. It's the first try, it's okay. There we go.
There's no cruise control or AFB now, anyway. These are, you have to drive these. 11 kilometers. Peter, I don't have an answer for you on our performance on Xbox. We can get the numbers from our test system. If you remind me tomorrow, Harry, I can get them over to you. No one's raised any concerns. I've not looked at it myself on Xbox yet. We've got beta testers playing the route. So obviously Series X will be much better than a Gen 8. just about. There is no Vlissingen. I'm not going to share what route I would like to make because it might not be the one we end up making, and equally what trains I would like to make. You know, the only thing I'll say is it would be nice to get a Verm. You know, that's kind of a train I would like to see in the game. But if it doesn't make sense on the route we choose, it won't be what we make. So
we've got a few requests for that in the chat as well. Actually, I've had a lot of people.
No, Verm isn't obvious. It was one of the contenders when we were looking at this, but it was yeah. Amelo on there. No. But yeah, please don't take any of that as a confirmation. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Bimblings around in the head, and it all depends on the feedback we get, to be honest, and what, you know, where we feel that we think we can go next. You know, at the end of the day, the goal is to create a good experience. We'll follow where that is. We do have a lot of Dutch members on the beta forum now, including employees, staff of the NS who. You know, just tell us where we're going wrong. So it's, you know, it's really useful. But yeah, keen to do more. We'll have to see how it goes. Make sure you give us that feedback. Nijmegen. Do one more. Yes. Right, we're going to get ATV'd shortly.
We're not showing guard mode just yet. We'll be showing it in a little bit, but if you do have to leave, you can always watch it back.
Yep. Guard mode is next. We're nearly at this stop. Guard mode will be next. There we go. Again, put enough brake on to get that light and you won't upset ATV, and then just make sure that you've dropped your speed before it becomes active. Go, back in compliance. Drop to 60. Goes. Beep, beep, beep. No, fine, don't then.
Place to drop feedback is the forums.
Jesse, drop me a DM.
All that.
Coming to Assen.
this is €32.99 Great British pounds, €39.99 or $44.99.
When you just got the yellow indicator here, it actually means 40. When you get the green indicator up here, it means full track speed. Don't know why it doesn't just say that, frankly, but that's what it means. Right, this is where we're going to end this journey. I mean, this one goes all the way back to Zwolle, I think, if I remember rightly.
We've got, yeah, conductor mode next. Also on the SNG.
Cab windows open? I don't think so. I can open the door, but I don't think the cab window's open. Put the blinds down.
They don't look openable.
Right, that's as far as we're going on that one. Let's do same journey actually, maybe at a brighter time of day, and we'll do conductor mode. Again, we're not going to do the whole thing because it's just the same thing over and over again. You don't need to see that. Right, so timetable, SNG 401, and go custom weather, put into July. We'll leave it like that, I think. Conductor mode.
Here we go.
Green means max train speed. There you go. Right. So the driver opens the doors. I remember.
Chatting about this earlier, the ICM does have conductor mode.
It does. There's just not a lot to do with it.
Yeah, a little quieter.
We have some time. We're supposed to be watching the train and the passengers, make sure everyone's safe, but
And little conversations in my head, right, when they're in little groups. What are they talking about?
They should probably stay in my head as well, but when I do it, they don't generally stay in my head.
Well, my first one, I don't even watch Coronation Street, but the first thing is like, oh, did you catch Corrie the other night? It's like, this is the Netherlands, Harry. I don't think they're watching Coronation Street. And if they are, why?
Oh, our fan is there. Taking picture of. Should we be taking picture of the one on the left, not that one? Take pictures of that one on the right for ages. This is the one that's going soon. Hello, take a picture of me. Right, okay, so checking and shutting the doors is my job. So, and as usual for conductor mode, brilliance, no one gets on at the first station, so guard key shuts all of the other doors. Make sure everything retracts okay. Cool, and then we can close the local door. Once the doors are closed, off it goes. Take the key out, and then ride the cushions. This service, you might, there's 2 or 3 stops in close proximity, so we're due into Europa Park at 3 minutes from now. conductors always sit in first class, do they? Oh, okay, then alright, fine. All right. I like sitting in the rear cab personally. Hey Jeff, how are you? He found the power button. They found the power button, one mustn't assume. Is it possible to couple the trains? Yes. That happens in scenarios and in services. The speedo is stuck on 15. It's the default because I'm not driving a train. It doesn't have access to the speed. You should really just hide it, but just ignore it. Right, coming into the station again. Driver opens the doors. You should find the stations, by and large, probably more detailed than you're used to. We have used another technique for going and getting station reference that allowed us to get much more detailed reference photography and so forth for the station. I don't know what else there is. Back of the train, aren't I? Key in. All good. Excellent.
I'm still here.
Off we go. We got some tickets. We got 3 tickets. Whoopee. Usually the next station we get truckloads of them, or one might say a trainload of them.
Can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm here. Why are people saying R.I.P. Harry? Anyway, please continue. I was letting him speak. Please continue, Matt. I just needed to check.
Right, what we got here? There's 24th of July. That's good. It's a beautiful bag. I love that. It's very tasteful. Like your cap. Well done. I want one. Let's go back to first class then. The map south of Zwolle, you mean that one? Yeah, that's all usable. The freight services both terminate here. You've also got services that you run in and out of here, I think up to Groningen. Oh, we're over here. Well, that's the other one. They're coming past the freight yard in a minute. Can you sit in the back cabin yet? I don't think you can sit in the seat. No, you can't sit in the seat. But usually you can pop that down and use the second seat.
You touching any buttons as a conductor?
Well, when you're not driving the train, semigraph isn't enabled, so you can kind of punch anything you like. It really doesn't do anything.
He's up in the back. To this we'll have
yeah,
the night service.
Yeah,
as well.
we could do a quick night service as well. There is a guard control here you can use to shut the doors as well, I believe. But given I've not practiced with that, I'm just going to keep it simple for right now. Oh, hello, next station. Let's go find some more customers. Bicycle storage.
Camps photographers put in the chat, more customers Matt can harass with ticket inspection. It always makes me think of that one time that you did the Batman voice.
Sorry?
Yeah, I didn't imagine that, did I?
No, I don't. I seem to remember it. Okay, let's look at your ticket. How many we got? Oh, I don't know. Alright, 24th of July. Yes. Oh yes, that was in one of the guard mode things, wasn't it? That's good. That's good. 10 to go. Come on, victims. That's good. That's good. Russell is next. That's good. Wow, everyone's behaved. When I was testing this, at least half of them had the wrong ticket.
I do already have that feedback T1606. I've got that noted down anyway, so.
Wow, so much misbehaviour with bags. Right, did we get them all? We did! Excuse me, I'm sitting in my seat. Oh, Victron.
Well done. Now you have to awkwardly look at each other.
Is that the argument? I got to get the wrong end of the route. I can't remember if this is accessible though. But so I've got 10 minutes until we get to Assen. I think that's probably enough for this, to be honest. Kind of just, you know, it's just more of the same as we go. But yeah, that's conductor mode. It's quite straightforward.
We've still got our night route. We've still got our Q&As to do.
Let's come out of this, do a night route then.
Night route.
We don't simulate different class of tickets at the moment. Only it's something to come in a future update I'd like to do. But at the moment, yeah, we don't. You just have a ticket.
I like to think you've just got a very kindly conductor who's just like, go on.
Go on.
You're sitting first class. Go on then. Go on. It looks like you're having a bad day. Go on.
504 service, and then off that, and we go a bit of cloud, and we go a bit of fog.
Night, spooky night one.
Spooky night. Right, so power up again. So master key in, put it in drive, put it in forwards, put the headlights on, put the gauge lights on. I love that. Train lights on. Then train heating, compressor, train supply, EP brakes. Good. Get the doors open. Such a sublime. Some of the screenshots the beta testers have been taking have been just stunning.
Screenshots bad. Did I send you any of my pretty screenshots that I took?
No.
Did I not? That's shocking. I always feel worried about posting them anywhere because I never get the lights right. I'm like, do I need to turn the lights on? Like, is daylight? Which one? Oh, I always get confused with it.
Daytime and nighttime,
yeah. But the lights have to be on during the daytime, but it's a different light that's on. I always get it wrong. And there was no chance. There was no chance with these two brand new locos. I have to find them.
Nice thing is they're separate controls, so I can play them both together. Endless fun.
Were you able to have a look at the front of the station? Is that an area that we have?
The front of the station. We don't normally model from
like,
because that's usually a whole load
the
of work.
out of bones.
So this is Groningen at night. So there is a front there.
Fine. It doesn't take a lot, Matt. It doesn't take a lot.
Brakes to come off and we'll start moving. I don't think you can change the destination on the ICMM.
Is it because somebody mentioned this? Is it because it's connected to the PIS?
I mean, it is hardwired to follow the PIS, but say the SNG is as well. But I think the setting for this is a different type of system. I mean, I don't think that's modelled. I reserve the right for someone to prove me wrong, but normally PIS. In fact, quite often the guard sets the PIS in in their private cabin. There's normally a control for setting PIS and things. You can't get into that in this. There's a PIS controller where the cabin door is. Right, okay. Oh, is it probably up here or something? Yeah. Oh, the bell.
Lawrence. Knew I'd seen it somewhere.
This is quite an interesting service for an ICM because it stops a bit more often. 0x02. So I'm using what's called minimal HUD, which you can change under options, settings, accessibility, HUD type, minimal.
Dark.
Can't drive without the HUD SLT Sprinter unless you know the route, and I definitely don't know the route, so that's why I'm not driving without the HUD on.
Extreme challenge one day, that, Matt.
Yeah, get lots of practice on a route, then it is so much more immersive driving without the HUD on. That's the goals. Can you see the doors from the outside? Not really.
Was it an overshoot? Was it an overshoot, Matt?
I don't think so.
Ah.
Seems pretty
Everyone puts a
reasonable to me.
different. Everyone puts a different word to the word I learned as overshoot.
Harren is next. We'll just go to Harren, I think, and then we'll finish up. Geordie, yeah, I keep forgetting to put it in neutral. Yeah, you're quite right. Right.
I think my Dutch is very good. I've learned how to pronounce some things, but
you can definitely see things out the front. If I turn the lights off, you'll see that you can see a lot less. I'm stopping here. Stop messing with lights.
oh no. No! No! I don't want to say this word.
You're going to be
I don't
saying
even know
it.
if it's the right word
You're
now.
definitely going to be saying
Oh
it.
my god! Okay. Oh my god. That was... Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can justifiably say that that was not, so...
I know, for overshoot is different to the word that's being put in the chat. And I think it's voorbijschieten. Voorbijschieten. I think. I don't know whether that's right.
But I'm early, so, you know. Oh, if someone was asking about that, yeah, it pops it back into 40.
I did get it right. I got the word right, Matt.
Hey, well done.
Voorbijschieten. It's the in the middle of the sentence is really hard. Voorbijschieten. I think living in Scotland has actually helped me quite a lot.
Oh, I doubt it's the first overshoot in Dutch railway sim history. The beta testers have probably done plenty of it. Yeah, I'm throwing them under the bus.
Did I? Actually, I didn't overshoot. I don't think I overshot once when I played it. In fact, I think I told you that, Matt. When I did it, I was like, I didn't overshoot.
Yeah, the way you told it, it was you did good actually. It sounded really good.
A screenshot of my overall performance. It's the first time I've ever done a full service. And I did used to live in Scotland. I'm also half Scottish as well. My dad's Scottish. I used to live in Cumbernauld though, so you have to feel sorry for me.
Depot over there.
Ignore the chat, Matt. Ignore the chat. Don't look at it.
No, I know exactly what they're saying.
That's not. You know what? If we have a quiet moment, I'll run a service on a. I don't want to do a preview stream because I want to be able to do the preview streams justice. We actually want people to be able to see things.
Stop messing about with the outside cameras. I keep missing the safety systems. Because the thing, if you have the safety systems on, you really can't be flying the camera around and exploring the wonders of the universe. You kind of need to be present in the cab and paying attention.
If you would. through some questions soon as well.
Yeah, it's all the real life horns. All the sounds have come from the real trains user.
End of the horn on this, or horns.
What are the different notches on the throttle and the Koploper stand for? So you've got I can't remember what R is, but the S notches are for what they call series, and P is what they call parallel, and it's basically electrically how it feeds the power into the motors. Series is for slower speeds, building up with more power. Parallel then means it can go, run at faster speeds. Yeah, it's just literally electrically how it passes them in. Just notch it up slowly as you go. Almost all of the older electrics have got this idea of series parallel and then what they call weak field. I don't know if this has got weak field. It could be that PZ5 has a weak field setting to it, but weak field again is just another setting that's used. Oh, is that what the Z means? Auto Slab Express. Is that weak field? Z stands indeed for weak field. There you go. So if you're interested in how older electric motors work, then look up terms like series parallel and weak field, and it's just how you end up. Remember, right, your weak field is dealing with something called back EMF. So as you put power, if you spin a motor, right, if you connect a motor to a bulb, you did this probably at school. You connect a motor to a bulb, and you spin the motor, the bulb lights up. Yeah. And what happens is that effect happens even if you're driving the motor. So if you are driving the motor and giving it power, then you'll still get back EMF coming off of that motor, and it ends up making it very inefficient. And so weak field is a method by which it shunts that back EMF away, so that it can go faster. If I understand it right, my knowledge of electrical motors is weak, but it's weak field. It's along those lines. It's just different techniques for getting motors to go faster, because you can't just put more power in, not at these levels.
You said weak field at first, by the way, as in like the person that did the song Saturday Night. Like immediately, I was like, why have we got weak field in TSW? What's that? Is this an inside joke that I'm missing?
That song's going to be in my head all night now, thank you.
Do you remember the dance?
Oh.
Like that.
I can see your camera remember.
Oh, yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Well, there you go. Well, at least you know the dance now, Matt.
I was there watching Top of the Pops every week, and the song just wouldn't go away.
You know what? I'm sick of pretending it's not a banger. It is a banger.
It is.
It's so good. Why is it so good? Whenever that comes on, or whenever the Macarena comes on at a party, and everyone rolls their eyes, and I'm like, stop it. You're being boring. Don't be rolling your eyes at any of those two songs.
Did I have a practice before the stream? Yeah, I did. Because firstly, I need to run the route to get all the shaders pre-compiled, so we don't have stutterfest. But also, I'd really not driven either of these true trains at all before, so I thought I should probably get my learn on. But it's so easy and quick to learn. I was really impressed, actually. So I must admit, I did have some trouble with one thing. One of the key things was, how do you shut the doors? And I sat there for about 5 or 6 minutes hunting around the cab for that, until I asked one of the person who set the ICM up, Mike, and he said, yeah, you can't do that. They don't have a closed doors button. I'm like, explains why I can't find it. But after that, pretty much it was dead easy actually. I'm not promising that there'll be no overshooting together. The long stretches where I don't have to stop at speed up and slow down are usually a trap where I will then go, oh no wait, I should be stopping here. Fly through the station at 80 miles an hour.
We don't want another 4x heated. Just practicing so that I can not speak Dutch again and go back to trying to learn Norwegian. We could go through some questions now if you wanted to, Matt.
Yeah, go for it.
Or do you need to concentrate so that you don't overshoot?
Well, we're going to be coming into a stop any second now anyway, so we'll do the questions in a minute. There you go. That's the speed drop. Give it an extra notch of brake just to get the speed down. You know what all of these people here need? What they need is some friendly train driver blowing their horn repeatedly down the line. It's what you need at 5 a.m. Everyone get up, go to work.
I'd be fuming. I'd also be asking why I'm in the Netherlands. Turned it up on the stream just to hear it.
Right, coming into Assen now.
Jamie's in the chat. Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Our Jamie, by the way, Matt. Our Jamie, not another Jamie. It's our Jamie. That lad.
One thing I like about driving in the dark is that contrast between, you know, the dark areas in the middle, and then these islands of light that you stop at, or fly through, depending on whether or not you're in a mood to stop.
Night. If you want to be poetic.
Can I zoom in onto the ADB speedometer? Is that what you're wanting to see? Put it there, open the doors. I'll put it in neutral, that's why it popped down to 40. Is there no trains drive on platform 2? Don't know. I mean, that's platform 3. This one's on platform 2.
Staffing in the chat. Oh gosh, what did I just click on? Saturn in the chat, Matt, said that if you're in the Netherlands you need to buy some cheese. It's funny that you say that, because specifically for this week I bought some imported cheese, expensive Dutch imported cheese, and I also had my nails painted to match the Koploper. So I went all in. I've got some cheese ready to go. I'm not going to eat it now though, because it's quite late and I don't want cheese streams. It looks very Gouda, actually. The cheese looks very Gouda indeed.
Mm.
Cheddar believe it. should I say, cheddar brie, leave it.
Dear, oh dear.
I hope you're not getting bored of the cheese puns, Matt, because there's still tons to go.
Hey. As long as none of them are made backwards. I was driving a cheese train the other day. I had a big accident. There was nothing left but debris. Right, okay. Let's You're muted.
Okay. Oh no, we'll do questions. We're doing questions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're doing some questions and finishing up.
All right. Here we go. All right, because at some point we'll probably have to go to bed. At some point, I have to have a little sleep. Okay. Okay. Brilliant. The first question has a word that I need to know how to pronounce. Okay, here we go. I apologise in advance for this. I haven't practiced this one. So we're going on to Q&As now. The first question is, can we enter the compartment where the door loop cop used to be on the ICMM?
If that means where the joiner is between the two, then no, I don't think you can.
There's a couple of these that I might reach out to beta testers for if we get a little bit stuck on them anyway. If they're Dutch specific. Is the this is happening again. The glasses thing is happening again. This is why I need to wear glasses. Is the destination display control near the bottom of the cab stairs usable on the ICMM?
Let me just double check it.
While you're answering that, I'm going to put my glasses on.
Let's have a look. That'd be this thing, so no.
My glasses are under my headset. Oh my god. Crushing my head. I love wearing glasses. It's so great. It's my favourite thing ever. It's my favourite part of aging. Okay. Oh my goodness me, that is much better. Okay. Is formation designer. Can we make 4K versions of the ICMM and SNG in formation designer?
I don't know. You won't be able to make an official one because we haven't got the different kind of car that you need to do it. But I can't remember whether or not it comes with the individual vehicles. I'm just going to have a quick look. But even if you can make a 4 vehicle train, you won't be able to make an ICM4 because the missing car is a different coach.
On to the next question while you're having a little look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I can answer this one, but is the Van Halbruge Bridge in Groningen in the playable area? Or will it open and close? I didn't see that when I ran through it, but I'm not sure about you, Matt.
I have no idea. I don't know where that is.
I don't think it is. It's a swing bridge. It lifts up and lets barges through the underneath of it.
No, so back to the formation question. If you go to add, you add ICM3, you just have ICM3 NS. That's the only one that you can put in there. So just the 3-car one on its own. So the individuals and vehicles aren't there because they probably wouldn't work if you did that. You know, the way the trains work, you can't just slap extra coaches in sometimes.
Just to answer a couple more questions that came through the chat, we can't do a preview of the Vectron right now because this is just the normal build that's going out. And was that it? Was that the one that I saw? And it was about the PIS boards. If we're looking to get a fix for them in the future.
Send us send me a DM with the issues with the PIS boards, and I'll pass it on to the team to have a look at. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but we'll pass the details on.
If it's the PIS boards, if it's the words next to each other, I've already got notes of that. So okay. I've got that pictures and I've got it raised. So normal list. Where's the normal list? Here we go. So will this route feature the rail echo / rail singing similar to allemaal line?
No, and actually, so I went to talk to the audio team about the rail singing feature, because that's been there since CSX Heavy Haul, something along those lines. Been there for a very long time, and we don't use it for a very good reason. It doesn't work properly. Now, allmaal's turned it on, and no one's told them probably shouldn't turn it on, but no, it doesn't work properly. And looking into what's needed to fix it, you basically have to throw it all away and re-implement it. So it hasn't happened. It's not just a fix. That basically the way it's generating the audio, handling the audio is completely wrong. So you hear the singing from the cab and all sorts of strange things. So we've not done it because, in our opinion, that what's implemented is a worse experience than not having it. So at some point I'll get the team to look at what would take to do it properly. But we don't use it because, in our opinion, it's not good enough.
We've answered this a couple of times in the stream. Will the Vectron get the ATB update on release or at a later patch? It will be a
later patch, just coming out as soon as possible. It's not quite made this, unfortunately. It nearly does, but it's not quite made this, so it'll be coming out in hopefully the next patch.
The neutral section simulation.
I don't think there are any neutral sections on this route.
I don't think so either. If you hear me typing, by the way, it's because I'm typing the answers out to these questions so that I can put them on the forums in case you missed this.
Damien, I would love to do you a little preview of the Vectron. However, I'm running tomorrow's release build, which means the Vectron's not in there. If I had a development build on here, then the frame rate would be rubbish, but I would be able to show you the Vectron, but I don't. I've only got the tomorrow's release build running on here, so unfortunately I can't show you it. Which is a shame, because Fabian's done a great job with it. DC doesn't use neutral sections. They have, as I understand that they have dead sections, Real Dutch, but I don't fully understand that. I know there's been a big debate about that, but yeah, they don't use neutral sections the way that you think about them, I think.
The next one was, are the sounds for both trains authentic, and how were they sourced?
So we went over to the Netherlands. Yeah, we were working with NS, and they gave us access to the two trains, I think for 2 days each, where we were able to get internal sound recordings of all of the, all the features. It's really cool when we can do that, because it means that things like door opening and closing and fans and things can all be done separately. You can turn systems off, make that, and just get the one sound. If you try and do it in a train that's in service, then your door closing sound has got all the air conditioning fans running in the background that you then need to do a load of post-processing to try and clean that up, which is never a good idea. So we were able to, working with NS, we were able to get access to the train in the depot for 1 day, and then on the following day, driver took the train out with the team, with the trains all fully mic'd up, inside and outside, so we could capture what it sounds like in the cab, what it sounds like in the passenger compartment, getting buggy running sounds, traction motor sounds, the cab sounds with all of the alarms and things going off, all sorts of things. Yeah, no, you can tell. So yeah, no, I'm really, really pleased with what the audio team managed to achieve. Well, the whole team actually. It's both the trains have come together really, really well, and a good chunk of that is because we were able to get such good access. Matthias actually says, any plans for the real BBR 4024? Again, don't have any access to it, so there's no point remaking a train to be something differently wrong. If we ever get access to it, then I'd love to, but at the moment we're not able to get any access to it.
will there be a manual? We have information on the ATB safety system, which you can view in the article. But we've not got a general manual, have we? Don't think. But we do.
No, there's no manual for this. No, there's no manual for this.
Yeah, we do have information on the ATB though, which is there.
And there's the tutorials for the trains and ATB in the game itself.
I love questions like this, and it would be lovely to have more of them. I mean, I suppose you can only answer this really for yourself, Matt. What did the devs enjoy about putting this route together, besides it being in a new country?
I know from conversations I've had, I know the audio team really liked putting it together because they always prefer the job when they've got access to all the raw materials. It's so much easier when you haven't got to try and make something up or find something, that will fit the job, because it doesn't feel as satisfying to make it. Whereas a product, as trains like this, where you've gone out, you've got all the recordings, you have everything you need by the train load, and you can you can put that together. It becomes so much more satisfying to do. So I know that I think the audio team enjoyed the work that they did on it, and they put a lot of time into it. Likewise, the setup team, you can tell by the extra screens that have gone in that there's a lot of time been spent on that. The route team, I think Lucas went and did the survey for this route, and he went out there with his he's got this 360-degree depth sensing camera system. It's basically like Google Street View thing, like a cheaper version of that, but definitely not cheap. And he basically just walks around the station capturing it, and then all of that data then becomes a point cloud, which you can then process via some software to create a 3D model of these stations. And then so that means the art team, instead of trying to sort of guess how things work based on thousands of photographs, which can be a challenge to try and sort that much data, because on the one hand you find if you haven't got enough photographs, you're usually missing the one bit you really need, and if you've got too many photographs, it becomes really difficult to try and make sense of all the information. Whereas this point cloud 3D model that we can make now with this tech means that the 3D artist who's making a station can just fly through it, and they can measure it because it's all a completely scale model that's been created. Now you can't take that model and put it in the game; it'd be way too inefficient. But you can sort of see exactly how things are and what they do, and just walk around it and then recreate that. And that's one of the reasons that the station models have been able to be to a higher level in this. And again, I think that's something else, that when you've got enough data and enough data that you can manage sensibly, again it becomes quite satisfying to put together, because you're nailing it spot on. So it's really interesting. It's things like that. Me personally, it's just seeing it come together, seeing the feedback from the Dutch beta testers, and the journey that they've been on. They've flagged up a lot of things that have been fixed over the course of the period of the dev time, and seeing that come together at the end. That's what's satisfying to me, is the fact that everyone's pulled together and been able to deliver this really well, actually.
There's kind of, we've kind of answered this quite a bit. We've talked about NS's part in helping with the route, but this was a question that we had on the forums that I quite liked as well, is about what exactly did NS do to make this route even better than without their help. I think we have a...
I mean, it's all about giving access to the train. That stuff is vital.
Yeah.
There's without the operator's support, that stuff isn't happening. The level of access that you can get as a passenger on, a member of the public just wandering around trying to get pictures and trying to get audio is 10% what you need. It's really difficult. And then of that 10%, you've then got to try and do so much processing to try and get that all the individual bits separated out. If you hang a microphone out the side of a moving train to try and get some sounds, then depending on your setup, you might have wind noise to clear out. You might have, and then you've got traction motors and running sounds all blended together. Somehow you've got to try and separate those out, or just not bother. It becomes really difficult. Whereas when you can actually get directly up to the trains, wire a microphone exactly where you want it to be, and have 6 microphones dotted all over the place with recorders all over the place, then there's no limit then to what it become. You can capture everything accurately. So that's the key difference.
They've just been generally super helpful. I know
Totally.
that there's been a lot of praise for NS as well. So well done to NS for all of that as well. And it's true about just getting the sound recordings and stuff. Just being able to, you want the realistic sounds. Having access to those locos is the best way to do it. How many services does the G6 have?
Not many. I mean, I'll just have a quick look.
I was going to say, if you just want a game open, we can have a little gander. But it's
G6
G6
has got 3 playable services: 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and 6 minutes.
It's a pretty
it's not a key part of the route.
Light. Yeah, it's pretty freight light. We do have there's a full list of layers that will unlock some more timetables, which are also available on 8th gen. For the I'll go through the layers later. Actually, I'll go through all of that later. We'll keep going on with the questions for now. We've already done this one. We've talked about this one. Is there going to be Dutch station announcements? And if not, why not?
But don't do station announcements or on-train announcements in TSW content at this time. So it's something I want to do, but I want to do it as a generic thing rather than lots and lots of extra one-off work all the time. That just makes everything more difficult to produce. We have a plan for what we want to do there, but I'll have an update for you at some point if it becomes a reality. The if is a very big if.
Big if. Are there English subtitles available? I'm assuming for this question that they meant when you're looking at buttons and things.
So if you hover your mouse over a control that's interactive, you'll get it in the language you've got specified in the game, so English. Yeah. If you're looking at a label on the dash, then the same as with German trains, no, there isn't. As a general rule, we don't localize the content that's not localizable, that wouldn't make sense to be localized in reality. So, German trains have German things on screens, German labels, rather than them being English. And we don't have a way currently of doing a help tip on something which is not interactive. You'll get used to it. It's like a lot of trains, in a lot of cases, there's a lot of commonality with how trains work, and you'll get the hang of it.
I always say, if I can learn it, anyone can, and it's especially. I've not tried the Sprinter, but the Koploper was super intuitive. I managed to pick it up very quickly. I was telling Matt that the only thing I struggled with was knowing which button to press to lock the doors. So I just sped off without the doors locked. I'm sure that everyone was completely fine and it was very safe. I didn't have anything beeping at me. Was this route and the locos built in-house or outsourced to a second party?
I mean, as I've said previously, we use outsourcers all the time for every single project, and that was the case here as well. I can't even remember what outsourcers we've used, but usual ones. So So I mean, it's a combination. So, like for example, we had an outsourced 3D art studio, I think, make the train art, and then Mike Goltz actually from Train Sim Germany did the ICM. Our internal team did the SNG, and I think we had support from at least one external agency for the route development itself. So I'm somewhat guessing on some of that stuff because I've not been involved in the day to day, but it's common. You know, we have used outsourced developers since day one of Train Sim World.
It's a mixture. It can be a mixture, really.
Yeah. I mean, quite often we'll outsource the environment, but we'll make all the stations internally, for example, or we'll make a lot of the key assets internally. It varies by project.
Well, we can't answer this one, but I'm going to ask it just for funsies. But we can't answer it. Are we likely to see further Dutch routes? Something like something in Rotterdam, Amsterdam, or a retro route?
So I'll say what I said previously in the stream. The point of this route was to have a first Dutch experience, to build out some of the assets that are required, to get the foundations of things like ATB, to get a couple of cool trains in there to look at and play with, and to get a good first route, and to get that feedback before we start potentially looking at more Dutch routes. Love to make more Dutch routes. The team are keen to make more Dutch routes, but we want to make sure that, you know, we're pointing in the right direction before we plough more resource into making more routes. Otherwise, whatever problems are in this route remain in the next route, and that doesn't seem very good. So, yeah, the key thing here for that is tell us what you think, tell us what you want, tell us what you think could be done better, tell us what you liked. Don't forget to tell us what you liked as well, because that's always good to hear. And balances the feedback out as well. We are human beings, and then we can use that to decide how we'll proceed.
We all feedback is useful feedback as long as it's useful feedback. Is what I like to say to the community. Doesn't matter if it is constructive feedback or if it's positive feedback, it is useful to us anyway. We will be listening, we'll be taking notes on it. The feedback that isn't useful is when is if we get anything that says, "Oh my God, why is Harry so lazy? She's hopeless. She needs to fix this issue." And I go, "I don't have to do anything." When it comes to fixing things, that's for the wizards, the literal wizards that make magic happen. So
Ryan, no, Ryan, no, not everyone has to give a positive reaction. I want to hear your constructive feedback.
No.
Specifically want to hear your constructive feedback. So
that is not what I said. That's you gotta both constructive feedback and positive feedback is useful. Like we want to hear both.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. You know, that's
it's useful. It's all useful. Can you sound the horn on? We've already done this. Can you sound the horn on both trains? The trailer video showed one tone of what should be a two-tone horn for the ICMM. There is a two-tone horn on the ICMM.
We did blew the horn a lot, so watch the stream if you missed it. You can play both high and low together as well. And yes, they did come from the train. I've seen some people thinking it sounds like an Electrostar horn, and it's not from the Electrostar. It might sound like one, but it's not. It came from the train.
Given access to the trains. We talked about that before. NS.
Exactly.
Oh, NS. Look at that. This is an interesting one. I like this one. So do you expect this route to be popular with non-Dutch players, or is it mainly aimed at Dutch players?
I actually think it will be popular with a wide range of players because I think they'll be interested in trying something new and different. I think that if you enjoy German routes, you'll really enjoy this. It really, really feels very similar in a lot of ways, but it has that freshness to it as well. You know, and if you like any kind of the commuter experience, if like you're an American player and you like Long Island, Harlem, then, you know, there's a lot of similarities you can get with this. So, you know, it does sit in that area where it kind of fits the broad audience, which is an ideal. for a route, to be honest. So I'm hoping that a lot of people really enjoy it. I mean, I want to hear from everybody. Obviously, what I want to hear from is the Dutch players as well, because hopefully we've got some new Dutch players coming on and with some different opinions and ideas to add into the mix.
I've been kind of tracking feedback on the forums. I've been tracking feedback everywhere. That is per my job. And there's been a lot of UK-based people that are very excited about it as well, which is really nice to see. It's good to see. It's just something a little bit different, isn't it? We've got our 2 brand new locos coming in as well.
Jerome says, "What's the max gradient on the route?" I think 0.3% or something like that. It's basically a flat route.
You know what? When you said gradient, I was thinking like color gradient. I was like, is this some dev thing that I'm not getting?
It's a pretty sharp change between the yellow and the blue. It's 100%.
It is. I haven't actually. I had my nails done specifically. You see this? I had them painted to match the Koploper. Okay.
Oh, Ed says it's a bit more than
dedication.
That. Okay. I will defer to Ed's on the gradient, but yeah, your nails look awesome.
Yeah, it's dedication to the craft. This is. They're not cheap getting your nails done. What year is the route surveyed / set in?
Surveyed the route last year. I don't know. I think it's around about that sort of time frame. I mean, the building construction work going on in Groningen is kind of tells you. Off the top of my head, I couldn't. Ed's might have a better answer on that one, or Eddie.
Both staging areas.
2023, 2024. There you go. Thank you. Sorry, carry on.
Do you know what? I typed that. Oh, yes. Okay. Both staging areas south of Zwolle and Groningen included.
Yeah, I showed them on the map. Let me just call the map up again so that you can see. I have no idea what I've just clicked. Hopefully this puts me in the game in a way that's productive. I'll change the screen over in a minute once I know what disaster I've just set myself up for. Okay, no, that's fine. So, yeah, you've got this area here next to Zwolle. And then over in the north, you've got the this one here, and then you've got the freight yard here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that answers the question. Someone asked if I painted my nails. No, I coloured my hair.
I looked, Matt. I was like, oh, okay. Well, okay. Was not sure. Okay. Was the little shuttle line? I need to speak better English than that. Was the little shuttle line from Zwolle to Kampen considered to be modelled, but cut from the final version?
I don't recall that ever coming up in the conversation, no.
Okay.
It's a fairly, as it was a fairly, I think you said it's over 100 kilometres, so the team were already a little bit nervous at the length of the route for a new territory and a bunch of stuff. It was, no, there wouldn't have been anything. Oh, and Ed said we wouldn't have had a train to run on it either, so.
Oh God, I'm trying to look at the chat and I'll keep going through these questions. I'll have a little look through that. I'll scroll back. I can answer this one. What other DLC will layer onto the timetable for this route. I was going to go through this at the end anyway, but the layers are the DB-G6 shunter loco, Dresden Riesa, I think. Darn it.
I don't know, I'm guessing.
Dresden Riesa, I think, maybe. Frankfurt Fulda, the BR-155 loco, the Ruhr Signord, and the Rhein Ruhr Osten add-ons. Which these questions will be put in the Q&A section of the forums tomorrow, and you can see these on the article as well. So if I've butchered any of those pronunciations, you can just have a little look there as well, a little double check, just in case you heard that and went, I didn't understand a word you just said, Harry. That was not any conceivable language. Oh, oof. You learn a bit of Dutch and then somebody asks you a question, and it's got a bunch of German names in it. How many timetable services can we expect for this DLC? 339 playable services?
Something like that. I went through at the beginning of the stream what the breakdown is across the different services.
Would you like to for this section, would you like to show it off again?
Yep. Just wait for it to get back to the menu. To the trains, choose the route, timetable. Right, so ICM3, we have got a range of services covering all sorts of different lengths, including depot services as well. So 155, and you've got 179 of the SNG3 covering again a range of services, including the ones that just go between Groningen and Assen as well, like for example here. Or you've got full-length runs, depot runs, all sorts of things going on there. You've got the small number of services with the G6, and then the 2 services with the Vectron, of which I'm told 44 is the heavier of the 2. That was the one I was going to run on tonight's stream, but the Vectron's is not updated. You can still drive it, you just don't have ATV on there. So what might be an idea actually is, let me just fire this up and I'll just show you how you change it to Dutch power.
Like that.
That works, you can do that. So if we key in, pick the brake off, put it in forward, let's slower the pantograph and open the circuit breaker. So we're powered down. Now you click this button here, and then we need to go down until we find NL 1.5 kV, which is that one. Press E, that switches it over. Now I can pantograph up, and then we wait until we see line volts. Should be a blue bar here, there it goes. And after a moment from brightly, the icon changes. There you go. We can now close the MCB, and then a minute it'll finish doing the close and everything will power up. Does take a minute. This is realistic. Trains aren't instant in reality. There you go. It'll all come to life. The icons came off, and if I now take that off, get the brakes released, and I'll just move it a minute just so you can prove it's powered up. See power going to the motors. Wait for the brakes to release on the whole train. There you go, you can see we're moving. So, but this is before the modification. But as you can see, it does work as it is.
Just to this is not going to be it's not going to be on the final release for the Vectron, but oh my gosh, my brain is not working. We were talking about this earlier, Matt. But we're the Vectron. Vectron. It's gonna be it's not gonna be in the tomorrow's release, but
it'll be
we are
as soon as
working
possible
on putting
after.
it in. as soon as possible after. We probably won't get a chance to thank Fubian, who was at a later date for the work that they did and that they helped us with on this. So
yeah, full credit to
big
Fabian
thank
for the
you.
work on upgrading the Vectron and doing a slew of fixes and so forth for the and improvements as well as adding that. So yeah, big thank you, Fabian.
Thank you.
There's no plans to put the Vectron in an NS livery. No, we haven't got the coaches that it would need, because I think in NS livery it's used for passenger, I think. But no, I've got no plans to put it in NS livery.
Question here: why has there been so many releases?
What?
I think it's just I don't think it's a question. I don't think it's not a question about this route. I think it's just the month of March.
There's a bunch of projects coming to fruition. Yeah, a bunch of projects have come. In some cases, what happens is over the course of the year, different projects get given a little bit more time and to get them into a better state, and it all just snowballs. At some point, a bunch of stuff falls on top of each other, and that's what's happened in March. So the projects are done; they've had their time to get right. It's that or not to release them and release them later. So they're out. You can choose when the right time is for you to buy them.
You can pick. It's a selection box. It's a selection box of delicious releases to get your hands on. The more the better, right? Yeah, there you go. Exactly. We're not going to talk about how busy we've been. We're not going to talk about that at all. I'm sure you're all right, aren't you, Matt? You've got another 5 releases in a 1 week period, right? You've got one in you.
It's all good.
Have a little sleep. Any forthcoming streams to leak?
William, do all Vectrons have ATB? No, only the Frankfurt folder one currently planned to have the feature. I don't know if there's any plan to update the other two.
Yes. That is. So we've gone through most of those questions there. If you've got any other questions, you can obviously ask them on the forums. We've got some nice questions in there, Matt. I don't know whether does it feel weird to have the cab so high up compared to everything else we were talking about?
I love that.
Right. It's a big panoramic view. You're way up high. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's superb.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, gosh, I think we've done it, Matt. I think we've
run out of questions. That's good.
I think so. So I was going to go through the good old admin bits. So this is going to be out tomorrow. It's going to be out at 10 a.m. on consoles, 4 p.m. on Epic, and 5 p.m. on Steam. That is in UTC. So that's out tomorrow. Ambassadors should be starting to throw out some content as we speak, maybe. And if you're not sure, after our stream tonight, you can have a look at some of those as well. Price for this is going to be £32.99, €39.99, or $44.99. We've already done that. We covered so much of my usual, here's the things that you get with the route. You've already covered most of it, but it's 339 playable services. It's a route length of 107 kilometers. There are multiple scenarios for it. There's lots of nice collectibles, which we've shown a few of, including the bicycles, with the flower that has escaped me. That is the
tulip.
Is it tulip? There we go. Oh, tulip's one of my favourite flowers. I love tulips.
I just think of the song. That's what helps me remember.
There's a song.
Tulips.
About tulips. I have never heard that. Okay, well, that's my homework for after this stream. That is my homework for after this stream. And there's some. We've gone through the layers already, and we've covered that the ATB has multiple ways that you can learn how to use it. And that's it. It comes with 2 locos, the ICMM Koploper and the SNG Sprinter EMU. Is there anything I have forgotten about, Matt?
I don't think so. I think you've covered it all.
Look at that. Oh, there's also Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Yes, I do know that one as well, because it makes me sad because that song gets used on horrors. But it's just a nice little song about tiptoeing through tulips. Probably. But I think that's everything. We've even got some cheese puns in there. We said some Dutch. And I hope everyone has enjoyed it. I have absolutely. I went into the route last week and had a little play around, and I absolutely loved it. Like I said, the Koploper is super intuitive. If I can drive it, anyone can drive it, because I'm useless. So at driving trains, not at everything. I'm good at some things, but it's a really cool, intuitive, and like weird looking in a good way loco. I just love the look of it. It's just, we've not really got anything else like it. So, and if you pick it up, give us feedback, because as Matt has mentioned many times during this live stream, it will help us figure out if we'd like to do more Dutch content as well. So give us your feedback. Matt, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I think we've said it all, to be honest. Look out for it coming out tomorrow. Send us your feedback, and I hope you enjoy it.
All right. Good night, everybody. Or is it Goede Nacht? Maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't check that one. Maybe. That is a guess.
German.
That is a guess. Is it? Is Nacht German?
I think it might be, but I don't know. I'm guessing as well.
Okay, well, I gave it a go. All right, I gave it a go. Yeah, that's it. We're done, Matt. We can sleep. We can sleep and snack.
Goede Nacht is Dutch as well. There you go. You got
Was
it? Right.
Yeah. Yes, Walton. All right, let's go. Okay, there you go.
Brilliant.
Walton. Okay, perfect. Okay, good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.